With regards to the latest firestorm that has erupted between the Zionist mainstream media in America and the newly inaugurated President Donald Trump, I think it would be wise for all people to just kind of settle in and get ready for a very bumpy ride, because this is going to be basically how things continue on for however long Donald Trump remains president, or until he finally buckles and decides to bend the knee towards the same organized Zionist interests in America who run the mainstream media here in the same fashion that elected politicians and other people have done in the past. It's important to keep in mind that all of the various levers of power that organized Jewish interests own and operate in the United States, whether it's political, whether it's foreign policy, whether it is the military, whether it is economics, all of these things, they are all completely subservient to and dependent upon the ability of the media to intoxicate the American mind to the point where the American people allow all of those aforementioned levers of power to be owned and operated by these same organized Jewish interests. Were it not for the media, meaning if these organized Jewish interests did not have control of the media, none of these other things would be possible, because the American people, once that intoxicating media influence is removed from their thinking processes, they will begin the process of asking themselves whether it really is in their interest to allow this tiny group of people to maintain the kinds of control over their lives personally and the life of the nation as a whole. And so the fact that we have a president who has signaled from the beginning that he is not going to play ball with the Zionist mainstream media in America, has signaled it from the very beginning of his campaign, this has got the powers that be in Tel Aviv and in other places deathly afraid, because if he is not going to bend the knee before them and cower, as so many other elected officials have in the past, that means they simply cannot control him. The fact that Donald Trump has chosen to go directly to the American people themselves through the use of these various social networking sites like Twitter and other things, and bypassing the black magic filter that the media utilizes in intoxicating the American mind, this is what has got them terrified more than anything else. You know, we were all treated to an absolute tsunami of daily reporting and commentary on the part of these Zionist interests that own the American media about the influence of foreign powers in the election, and how these same foreign powers seek to control the new administration. Well, there is a certain amount of truth to that, but not in the way that obviously the media has been reporting it. Yes, there are foreign interests with their teeth and their claws deeply embedded within the American system, but it's not the Russians, okay? It is the people in Tel Aviv who have chosen America to be the hammer by which they pound the world into submission and force the world to adopt all the protocols that they as a people have envisioned for themselves now for thousands of years. It's not the Russians who got Donald Trump elected. It was the Israelis who attempted to get Hillary Clinton elected, and who right now are going through fits of madness over the fact that they are not able to control this president. As I said at the beginning of this, it would be wise for everyone to buckle themselves up and prepare for a bumpy ride, because these same interests, if they cannot intoxicate the American mind in the fashion that they are accustomed to being able to do, then they move on to plan B, which is to orchestrate major events, very dramatic and traumatic events, such as 9/11, such as all of the various things that Israel's Mossad has done over the years, acts of terrorism, acts of war. That's what they do as plan B if they can't get their way by controlling the narrative through the less explosive means of the mainstream media. They start blowing things up, and they start killing people, such as what they themselves did in the assassination of John F. Kennedy, who stood in the way of Israel's goal to attain nuclear weapons. So everyone should just buckle themselves in and prepare for a bumpy ride, because what we have just seen with regards to Trump and this little firestorm that has erupted between him and the media, this is just a harbinger of much bigger and much more dramatic and traumatic things to come that are going to affect literally every breathing soul on the face of the earth.